Hi, it's Gemma Whitehouse here from the Home-Start Surrey podcast. And today we have William Annandale from Citizens Advice in Woking.
Hi, Gemma.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, indeed.
So we first met on the Surrey Five Peaks Hike-a-thon back in September.
We did. And we managed 13 miles, I think.
We did. Yes, we hadn't signed up for in fact, I think you were going to do the full course.
I was thinking about it, but actually 13 was okay.
Yeah, it was a hot day as well, wasn't it?
It was a hot day. It was a good day. It was a good day.
Yeah, so we were there raising funds for Home-Start Surrey, and you were there for...
I was there really under my own steam, not specifically for Citizens Advice Working. And the guy I was supposed to be walking with, unfortunately, did his need a couple of days before. So I joined in with the whole group of you from Home-Start.
And we were quite a friendly bunch, weren't we?
I think I was your mascot, if I remember.
That's right. Yeah. So the hike was actually organised by Surrey Care Trust.
That's right.
Who were we were very lucky to partner with. So we got chatting about Citizens Advice Woking, and that's why we're here today. So we just wanted to hear more about it, really.
Absolutely.
So tell us about your career prior to Citizens Advice Woking.
Quite varied in many ways. I started off in sort of big multinationals, and I suppose marketing's sort of in my DNA, and certainly was then. So I worked for a couple of big sort of multinationals, Unilever, and then another one, and then decided that actually big companies and politics wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So sort of a fairly varied career after that, mainly in consultancy of one sort or another. And then I started up with a couple of other guys, started up a new venture only a few years ago. Unfortunately, we did pretty well with it, but then we ran out of cash. And at that point, I thought, actually, I don't want to carry on working absolutely full on 24/7, 7 days a week. So I'm still doing a bit of consultancy work, but mainly voluntary now.
The special word which I love.
Yes.
Yes.
And Citizens Advice Woking, CAW, is my main voluntary sort of contribution at the moment.
And when did you first get involved with them?
It's about 18 months ago now. Some friends of ours, one of the friends of ours is actually a frontline advisor, and I was chatting to her about it, and she said, "Well, why don't you go and talk to the chief officer at CAW?" Which I did, and she said, "Yeah, sounds interesting. You have to go through." Obviously, a very, very intense training period for a number of months. And she said, actually, the next batch of trainees is not for about another 6 months. And I'm like, oh, that's a bit disappointing. And she said, we are looking for trustees, though. And so that started the journey that effectively meant that as of 18 months ago, I became a trustee.
I see. And so you're a trustee, and you became that first, did you?
Yes, I'm not a frontline advisor. I'm a trustee, and that is it's quite a varied role. It's about governance, but that sounds very dry in many ways. And we're actually at a situation now, which I can explain a bit more, where we're actually in quite a critical state as far as CAW is concerned. Because Woking Borough Council is in a difficult situation financially. So as a trustee, I and others are really getting involved in the day-to-day, not the day-to-day advice for clients, which is obviously the key purpose of the organisation, but in putting together a business case, in sort of campaigning, if you like, and trying to make sure that we keep CAW alive, because there is a sort of quite a real threat that we might have to close our doors.
It's frightening, and it's actually happening to our Runnymede and Woking Home-Start as well. They're in a very similar situation with the funding. I think they've got enough to keep going till January. I don't know how long you've got.
Well, we've got a service level agreement with the council, with Woking Borough Council, until April. But they've put forward a proposal. What they've effectively done, without getting into too much detail, is they've had to issue what's called a Section 114 notice. And that means they're only committed now from the start of the next financial year to deliver statutory services. And they do have an obligation to protect the vulnerable as well, which is obviously very much where CAW comes in. Anyway, their proposal right now is that they cease all community grants. And most of our funding from them, anyway, comes from this community grant. So in theory, as of April next year, we don't have any funding from them, or most of our funding would be cut. And if that happens, we can't survive.
Yeah, it's pretty scary stuff.
So it is pretty scary stuff. So yeah, we're all sort of pitching in and doing our best and really campaigning as much as possible to try and make sure that we can keep the doors open.
And so what's your campaign strategy look like then?
I should say, first of all, by the way, we're in Camberley, obviously. So I should do a shout out for Surrey Heath Citizens Advice, because I'm talking on behalf of Woking here, but we are in Camberley. So I should mention Surrey Heath Citizens Advice.
So Citizens Advice, I mean, they're all over the country, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're all independent offices. It's sort of like a federation, if you like. So there's a whole central resource for citizens' advice, and that's to do with lobbying, and they do have some government contracts. But all of the offices, the individual offices, are independent. And so that means we have to stand on our own feet. We have our own clients. We have to do our own fundraising, et cetera, et cetera. But going back to your question, from a campaigning point of view, so the council put out a consultation, so we've been responding to that. We put together a business case effectively to demonstrate that actually, if we didn't exist, it would cost the council more than the funding that they're actually giving us at the moment. And there's various other things that we're doing from a campaigning point of view. I mean, you know, we're not trying to go out and sort of provoke mass marches or anything like that.
No.
But we're trying to demonstrate to everybody, particularly to the council, what the impact would be. And, you know, I've just talked in terms of the sort of factual side of it. But actually, what I should say is we have over 7,000 clients, a lot of clients, and that's continuing to increase. Cost of living, as you can imagine, I mean, it is a crisis, and it's continuing to be a crisis. And there are more and more people needing our help and needing the help of other organisations. And there aren't any other organisations in Woking and probably not really in Surrey generally that do the sorts of things that CAW does. So, you know, there's going to be so many people in such a difficult situation. They are already. But imagine what it would be like if we didn't exist.
It doesn't really bear thinking about, does it?
No, it doesn't.
So going forward, what can you say to people who are watching this podcast or listening to this podcast? How can they help?
Well, right now, we'd obviously be very grateful for donations, and you know, our website has got you can donate directly off the website.
So we'll add a link. We'll add a link on so people can get to the website.
I think otherwise it's a question of lending our support. I mean, obviously anybody who's watching this, listening to this, who doesn't live in Woking might necessarily not want to contact a Woking councillor, but anybody who does live or work in Woking, then get in contact with their councillor, and actually just say, this is not right. This shouldn't be happening. We obviously understand and appreciate the council is in very difficult financial circumstances, and they have supported CAW for many years. So we are grateful for that. But we are in a situation where ourselves and some others are in really dire straits if funding is removed.
Yeah, that's right. So. On a lighter note,
yes,
I feel like we need to raise the mood a little bit because it is quite.
Sorry, yes.
No, it's fine, but it's the situation we're in. But on a lighter note, I'd like to know, what's your favourite chocolate bar?
Oh, very good one. Probably Snickers.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
like a bit of Snickers.
Yeah.
No nut allergies here then, that's good.
No.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming along. It's been really great to chat to you and find out more about Citizens Advice Woking and the situation that they're in at the moment. As I say, the link to the website will be in the show notes. And it's lovely to see you again.
Well, thank you for inviting me. And yeah, I'm sorry if it wasn't the most cheerful of conversations.
No, but this is how we do. This is real life here. This is
Yeah.
what we talk about. So
Exactly.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, Supergirl here, and I am a super fan of SMJ Media Group. They provide support for local businesses, charities and events, and of course create fun content for all of you. If you enjoy our content and would like to help support us, please go to buymeacoffee.com/SMJ Media Group and buy us a coffee.